This is about defending democracy. This is no longer Democrats versus Republicans. What do you want your kids to believe in? There must be give and take.
This is White Flag with Joe Walsh.
So many Americans want to embrace conspiracies. It's not just on the right. Like everything else in our politics today, everything is more pronounced on the right. Way too many Americans want to destroy the people they disagree with. Way too many Americans want to do that. Again, it's more pronounced on the right. But people on the left have no interest in speaking with people they disagree with. A lot of people in the middle, a lot of people across the spectrum, if we're really being honest, right now have zero interest in engaging with the other side. It's much easier to ignore the other side. It's much easier to ignore people we disagree with. It's much easier to demonize people we disagree with. I've said repeatedly, I'm a broken record. That's the whole point of this podcast is our democracy will not stand if we stay on this road. If we stay on this road where we hate and want to destroy the people we disagree with, forget about it. Completely forget about it. I've said, and I believe, that Donald Trump's greatest legacy is the destruction of truth. Way too many. He lies every time he opens his mouth. He lies as he breathes. I acknowledge, right? All politicians lie. All politicians fudge and hedge. Many politicians lie quite a bit. We've never had anything like Donald Trump. Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth. And what that's done is it's empowered other Republicans to do the same. So many of my former colleagues, Republican colleagues, have watched Trump. They've learned from Trump. They've seen that Trump lies every time he opens his mouth. And you know what? Trump hasn't been held accountable for that. Donald Trump is still the leader of the Republican Party. The Republican Party base still adores and worships him, even though they're being lied to every single day. So other Republicans now have done the same, using lying as a weapon, lying publicly, lying confidently, lying proudly, lying boastfully. It's now the coin of the realm in our politics. Again, everybody on all sides lies. There's way too much misinformation and disinformation on all sides of our political spectrum, but be honest, it's much more pronounced on the right. I mean, just think about this. The vast majority of Republican voters today, March 27th, 2023, still do not believe Joe Biden won the 2020 election. Most Republican voters believe that. What's interesting is this upcoming election, 2024, if Joe Biden were to lose a close election, look, if Trump loses no matter what, a close election or he gets destroyed, he will say the election was rigged and stolen. He's already doing that. And many Republicans will believe him again, it doesn't matter what the margin is, they'll believe the election was stolen, the 2024 election. Here's what scares me. Imagine Joe Biden losing a close election. Imagine Joe Biden again winning the popular vote by a decent number, but then electorally, Joe Biden loses in a real close fashion. I can almost guarantee you that many Democrats will believe the election was stolen. I can almost guarantee you that among Democratic voters, if Biden loses a close election this year, most Democratic voters will not believe that Biden lost, will believe the election was stolen. This is why we're in such a dangerous place. I don't, by the way, believe that Democratic politicians will do what Republican politicians did in 2020 and echo some stolen election lie. I don't believe Democratic politicians will do that. I don't believe Democratic leaders will do that if Biden loses a close election. I don't believe talking heads on MSNBC, the Democratic talking heads on MSNBC, will get out there and lead with the stolen election lie like Fox News and Republican elected officials and all the right-wing media did and has done since 2020. But what I worry about are Democratic voters. And I believe that Democratic voters will question the legitimacy of our elections if Biden loses a close race. That scares the shit out of me. It should scare the shit out of you. Most Republicans are already there. Can you imagine a country where most Republicans and most Democrats question the legitimacy of our elections? I've said it before. You've heard me say it before. Elections, these things we do every 2 years, this is the heartbeat of our democracy, of our representative democracy every 2 years. You get rid of that, you question, you attack the heartbeat, you stop the heart of this democracy from beating, the democracy can't live. I worry that that's where we may be again after the 2024 election. We all need to worry about it. Thank you, Joe Walsh. Joe Walsh, whiteflag@gmail.com. All one word, Joe Walsh, whiteflag@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow White Flag with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been White Flag with Joe Walsh.